I tried to get a tan like to keep up with Chris, but Chris like goes outside for 2 seconds and comes back like, you know, a bronzed Adonis, and I peek out into the sun for 2 minutes, and I'm like Nosferatu. It starts to burn, and I have to go back inside.
Good morning, Vietnam! I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
I feel the need for speed.
Roads? When we're going, we don't need roads. Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
I'm Spartacus!
I'm Batman.
I am the father.
And Mary, obviously, yeah, your hair's out of control. Yeah, I thought, you know.
I think your hair's looking quite good.
No, your hair's lovely.
So it's so chunky. Like, I can't wait to get this like full Britney next week and somebody do something with these roots. Like, I'm so excited. I feel like I actually put a wave in my hair because I thought those two have had their haircuts. I'm not turning up looking like a bag of shite. So, and you guys.
So what happened?
And you guys look so beautiful and so fresh. So I thought I'll make an effort.
Mm-hmm. See when I sent that link to the micro shorts, I thought Thomas would be a shoe-in for the middle one, which was the cut-off denims and the socks and the slip-on shoes. Yeah.
Yep. Hashtag 5-inch seam.
I mean, summer is on the horizon. I think it's a good look.
Yeah,
you know, people been locked down. But I think I should what?
I was going to say, you should try it when we go out. Like, I would like to see what these shorts look like.
Well, the way I see it, I've been in lockdown for the last year, so nobody's any right to judge.
Exactly. Body confidence should actually be at an all-time high because we've all just gone, fuck it.
Yeah, I don't want to be like body shamed for my choices.
Nope. As I said in the photo, I am going to wear heels when we go out though, because I want a picture. Because I even tried to change the Moviescramble cover photo on Twitter to that picture, but I can't because I'm too short and it cuts me out. So I'd like a photo where either we're all sitting down so it levels the playing field a bit, or I just put on like super heels and elevate myself so that we can get a nice picture together.
The problem is, you turn up wearing heels. What if me and John wear heels as well? And
yeah, we've got all these Christmas presents that we've not had a chance to wear yet, you know. So.
You know, I've got my heels and my cut-off denim shorts. It's the white socks.
God, you are going to look so attractive. I can't even put it into words.
I think The Guardian must be trolling me at the moment because their latest article was on Hawaiian shirts. How that's going to be the big thing this year, except you're not supposed to wear them because they're culturally insensitive.
Oh my God.
No, really?
Mm-hmm.
That's about 20 of them.
To Hawaiians.
Hawaiians?
No, that's obviously the obvious answer here. But my question is, like, the Hawaiians wear Hawaiian shirts though? Because I've always only ever seen like white people wear those shirts, and I don't know what it's culturally appropriate apart from the fact they call Hawaiian shirts. But change the name of them. Call them white guy shirts.
Or like floral
white boys.
Shirts.
It's a white boy summer.
White boy summer.
White summer.
Dear. I mean, we're like 5 minutes into this recording and white boy summer has been mentioned, and not by me. I didn't even say it first.
No, I need to read this article in the Guardian about the Hawaiian. You think the Guardian are trolling you? I think the Guardian are trolling me half the time, or trolling life. But yeah, maybe there is some kind of reason why you can't wear Hawaiian shirts. But I have never seen. I just didn't know Hawaiian shirts were indigenous. Like, yeah,
I always thought it was something that like tourists wore. Like, I never thought it was something that actual Hawaiian people wore. Maybe they do. I don't know. I've never been.
I wasn't interested to read the full article. Yeah.
John just like skimmed the first 2 sentences and knew that was enough to make him angry, so gave up.
Yeah.
Welcome in 2021.
We're having a barbecue at yours, Simmy. Is that what you're saying?
Well, the worst thing is I don't get a lot of sun in my back garden. It's rubbish.
This is like a volcano. Like, I burn like 2 seconds after going outside. It's too hot in my back garden.
Yeah, but you're very, very pale.
That's true.
Well, she don't sparkle.
See, Mary won't get that because you haven't seen the film.
I do get it.
Sorry, I thought you wouldn't have.
No, the wee sparkly Twilight fuck. No, I get it, sadly.
Have
I
you
know
not
the
s-
reference.
Have you not seen them? I thought you'd seen them. I thought everybody had just seen them at one point or another.
I have seen a clip of one that had Michael Sheen in it, is that right?
Yeah.
And he was like ripping someone's head off or something, but that's as far as I've got into the...
He's pretty good in it, to be fair. I know the films are pish, I didn't like them, but the third film's good. I still maintain that. And I say that every time these films come up, I always say the third film's good. It's a guy that directed Friday Tonight.
Oh, yeah, that's... Oh, God, that fucking haunts me forever.
It is a bit of a departure in terms of vampire films, but I took my sister to see it, and I was like, I've seen that too, so I'm just sitting out with this. When I finished, I thought, I actually quite enjoyed that. And I was talking to people, and nobody believed me. I'm like, no, seriously, it's quite good. It's actually quite a good film. Like, nah, you're at it, blah, blah, blah. Have you seen it? No, I've seen the first one. Well, the third one's good. I'm not saying watch it, I'm just saying it's good. The end.
Do you think that like Kirsten Stewart and Robert Pattinson are embarrassed that they did? Because they've gone on to do quite like different, like quite indie, quite out there things. Do you think they're embarrassed that they did that? Or do you think it was just a launch pad for them and they knew it was going to be shit?
I think, see if any of them either were embarrassed by it, they should give me all the money they made for it and continue to do their independent projects.
Sure. Yep. I'll take your embarrassment money any day.
Damn, how many films did they make? 5?
Yeah.
I thought that was only 3.
No, there's 5. It's 4 books, 5 films.
They split the last one into 2, didn't they?
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, right? You could. I know Harry Potter did it, and people say, did Harry Potter really need to do it? I didn't mind. For the first Harry Potter, part 1, 6, whatever it is, it does drag a wee bit. The 7th one does drag a wee bit, and the 8th one is great. This is a film that this book did not need to be split in 2. It really didn't. And I've not read the books, but I've seen all the films, and I'm watching the film with my sister again. I just take her to see him. She was younger, and I'm going, literally nothing is happening here. Like there's nothing is happening. And in fact, do you think you'll ever see them, Mary?
No, I've never seen a Twilight or a Harry Potter,
Right.
and I don't really intend to watch either. So
Can I tell you the ending of Twilight
Sure.
then? And we can cut this out, John, for spoiler reasons or whatever. Or John, have you seen them all?
Yes, I've seen them all. Yeah.
Right,
I
so
do know
there's 2
there's a
endings.
CGI baby. Is that something that's...
Oh no, that's not that. Although
Right.
I can get to that about the imprints on her, and it's really fucking creepy. In the book, so in the film, you have this big, massive battle scene at the end, and
Of
it's
which
between
film?
the evil. The last one.
Right.
So like the fifth final film, whatever it is, and like Michael Sheen's evil vampires and the good vampires, and I'm going, okay. This battle scene's actually pretty good. And oh my god, people are getting murdered left, right, and centre. Like important characters are just getting killed willy-nilly. I'm like, do you know what? This franchise has been poor for the most part, third film aside, but this ending might actually redeem it. This is pretty cool. And it turns out it's all just a vision. So basically, the show Michael Sheen's evil vampire, this will happen if you fight us. Everybody's going to die. And he goes, okay, cool, and turns away. So I'm like, okay, that's like the worst ending I've ever seen. The book, I don't know if the book is worse or better, because in the book, it's sort of from Bella's point of view.
Right.
So you don't get the battle. You get Bella saying, so the vampire that walks up to Michael Sheen and says, oh, here's looking at the hat, and comes back and goes, no fight. I'm like, I don't know what's worse here. Promising a fight and not getting you it, or showing you a fight and take that away from you. I'm not sure what's worse, I really don't know. But I was fucking furious.
I just hate that it was all a dream cop-out type of thing. Like, and also, I don't believe that if he is like a supervillain, would mass death and destruction really make him reconsider his path in life? Like, is that...
He died as well. But I would just be like, cool, now I know how I'm going to die, I'm going to try and change it.
Me too. Maybe
It's
not
terrible.
step off that curb that day.
It's terrible. I remember telling my sister the film was finished, and I was nearly crying how bad it was, and she was just cheesing how much she loved it, and I was upset. I still hold it against her to this day.
Yeah, I can tell you've still got issues. Yeah,
I was going to say, you seem still very upset about this.
I must be the only middle-aged white guy that's upset at Twilight.
I think it's just like if you invest your time in it, and especially if you're like taking a sibling along and stuff like that. Although my sibling, obviously, it was on a different planet because her review of Top Gun was it had a lot of planes in it.
That's my interview of Twilight. I love vampires.
Oh god!
They're not real vampires.
One of my colleagues yesterday said, Oh, I watched Taxi Driver the other night. I was like, oh yeah, what did you think of it? I mean, it's no Joker. I was like, oh, fucking hell, let me just take a minute here. The kids these days, they just don't appreciate.
I think Joker is a better film, personally. And you can improve on an original.
Oh, yeah.
And it is just, but yeah, I get you're coming through though. If they're still annoyed me, even though I agree with the comment, I still got annoyed.
Yeah, I feel like that's one of those films that's almost like sacred, and you don't get to say bad things about it. And I mean, I love Joker. So I mean, I'm not gonna argue.
Yeah, but does Taxi Driver not have Roy Rose Cadet was all dream style endings?
About 2/3 of the film could be regarded as being a dream,
or like a hallucination type thing.
I don't even think it's open to interpretation. I think the screenwriter actually confirmed it. The screenwriter, somebody confirmed it. Somebody really involved creatively actually went, no, it was all a dream. It was all a fantasy type thing.
Am I going to have to eat my words on Twilight then? Because
no,
I usually don't like that type of plot device.
No, the problem with Twilight is, for me, it was the fact that it was a really cool fight. It was a really cool scene. And then it kind of just took it away from you. And I'm like, no, man, you can't do that. And Harry Potter films are excellent.
I don't really like wizardy shit. Like magic.
It's a dwarf in it. There's dwarfs in it. It's a dwarf in it.
Oh well, that's out. But I don't like this whole idea. Don't get me wrong. Like I don't like. Chris has got it in to say that I don't like science fiction. I definitely do like science fiction. I just don't have time for like magic, which is weird because I really like The Prestige. But see stuff like that where it's like fucking waving wands and saying stuff that sounds like Latin. Count me out. I've got no interest.
What about sci-fi if it's got a horror element to it?
It depends. I mean, I was a big girl and I watched Possessor a couple of weeks ago, and I was a big girl about that. And I've actually watched more horror recently than I would normally, and I've been proud of myself when I've not obviously been. That reminds me, I've got a new Sheild t-shirt, guys, and I'm definitely wearing it to our day out because it's really cool and I love it.
You've not seen the Sheild, have you, John?
Yeah, years ago, yeah. I watched it when it was out, yeah.
I cried for a full hour on Saturday night, like a full hour. And Chris was like, get a grip, you didn't even like him that much. I thought Dutch was your favourite. And I was like, I'm never going to get to see those blonde frosted tips ever again. And we've still got 2 seasons to go. I don't want to do it.
It's the way he's a look of betrayal in his face when he realises he's holding the grenade.
Oh, I fucking hate Shane. I hate him as a character. I hated him from day one. And the fact that it was him, stupid beef, receding hairline, fuck. I'm not over it.
I don't know why you're so surprised that a major character dies after about 4 seasons in the show. It always happens. There's always a few casualties.
I just didn't want it to be my beloved Lem, who is called Kenneth. That's my dad's name, so automatically I'm like, I love you. And I just thought he was the conscience of the whole group, and he was so sweet, and he drinks straight from the Pepto-Bismol, which is what I do with Gaviscon because I've got a really bad esophagus as well, and I just felt so drawn to him, and I was like, I cannot believe that the guy whose nickname is Teeth has just killed you off. I'm so upset about it.
But it's not just that. I mean, the whole scene is pretty brutal. It's not just a nice, clean death. It's not only the look of confused betrayal in his face, but then he has to lie there dying while Shane's trying. Oh, the whole thing's horrific. But it's well done. Yeah. See, my initial problem when I first watched The Sheild was it's the first episode to do something really, really bad. So I'm like, how did he really kind of go from here?
Yeah.
Because this is actually they've just murdered this guy in cold blood, and I'm kind of trying. Yeah. I'm looking for the kind of moral ambiguity to watch, and they're just bastards. They're just really bad people. But then you start to get drawn into them. It's a whole kind of Sopranos thing where these are stone cold killers, but you get invested in the worlds.
Oh, totally. Like when they brought the Forrest Whitaker character in, I was like, I do not want you to succeed at bringing them. Like, even though I don't actually, they're not people I would choose to have in my life, but I still didn't want them to go anywhere because I was like, no, you don't get to take down the strike team because I need them like in this to be. But yeah, I love it so much. Like, it's funny because we watched Shorter at the film festival, and Chris was like, oh well, if you like, racist cops that don't play by the rules, why don't we try this? And I was like, oh, okay, I've never seen this before, and I'm totally addicted to it.
There's the opener for the podcast. You fight racist cops.
No, not unlike what's going on this week. No, no.
You say this week, but Christ.
Well, every day.
Yeah.
Much, yeah.
It's pretty. But yeah, recently that was pretty fucking brutal. That new thing in America, the latest installment, and fucking
is the latest installment, if I'm right, the one where he said he didn't think he had the release on?
Yeah, no, it was just taser.
I thought it was a taser rather than the sidearm.
No, it wasn't. I think it was a women cop actually.
You can't tell the difference. I'm just going to throw it out there, but maybe you shouldn't be in that job.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There was an interesting post on Facebook. It was Stevie Wonder who'd posted about it and said, like to see what the parallels are with this case and one, I think it was maybe about 3 or 4 years ago, where a white cop, a black officer killing a white person accidentally, and they get 12.5 years in prison for it, and it was like fast tracked through the justice system and everything. So he's saying, well, what's it going to be like this time, where is it going to be the same, or is it going to be treated in the same way or what? So
that's fucking nuts.
Jesus.
That's absolutely mental. It doesn't surprise me, but it still shocks me.
Yeah, no, we're not going to lead with that. We'll lead with Chris and his suntan, I think, before we how easily he takes a tan.
It's a cultural insensitive tan. But don't fucking keep that in.
Oh no!
There we go.
Do you want to know what I got him the other day? And he thinks I'm being racist, but I just thought it would be funny. Throw burrito. And he was like, is this because we've been watching The Sheild? And I was like, no, I don't think you're Mexican. I just thought this would be funny to play. And you get 2 like foam burritos and you just throw them at each other. It's quite a funny game.
Yeah,
I think the
lockdown,
Sturgeon, I know you watch his podcast, I listen to his podcast, but please open the cinemas. This is what Mary's been reduced to. She's been reduced to throwing burritos at her Spanish husband to be.
Yeah, please open the cinemas or the pubs. I'll take either or.
Oh, something. Just no gardens, Christ.
There was an interesting post that I saw, or I think it was Independent, whereas one of the stars from Call the Midwife was complaining that they were never going to get a BAFTA because the show wasn't woke enough, which was interesting, apart from the fact that the shite. I thought,
I cry at that every week. I love it.
It's primetime Sunday night rubbish.
Yeah, it's nice. You don't have to think. It's just people, I suppose it probably isn't woke enough in the sense that it is that kind of like idea that everything was like super rosy back in the 60s, which it obviously wasn't. But I like it. I cried to it every week.
No, it's like Heartbeat with nurses. That's what it is.
Yeah, Heartbeat did a BAFTA, did it?
No, I don't think so. Maybe for the theme tune, but
I was going to say maybe for the music.
Can you say quite that? Who else would have a gritty reboot of Heartbeat?
What,
like a Happy Valley or something, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I think that the Sheild type idea, like Heartbeat. He's motorbike and things like that, and biker
using a sheep for cover when you take someone down in the middle of the street.
Well, like taking a sheep hostage,
Sammy's like floating this idea out there, but I have a feeling that he already has like a script and a 6-part series lined up, ready to go.
Yeah,
I do now.
It'll be the episodes will be focusing on different characters, and episode 4's focusing on the trauma that the sheep has gone through. Obviously, from his or her point of view, I haven't quite decided on if it's going to be a male or a female.
If you get to a 5th season, it's going to get dark.
Yep.
Love it.
It's the sheep with frosted tips is in danger in that season, obviously.
No! Not Lem.
You do know if a cast Walton Goggins is a farmer, that sheep's getting fucked.
Oh, 100%. Like, I honestly think that, obviously not him, because I would like Walton Goggins not to sue us, but the character of Shane does seem like a total sexual psychopath. Like, I just feel like every hole's a goal. So,
have you watched Sons of Anarchy?
I'm going to watch it next because I know that Dutch is in it, and that's the only reason I'm watching it, because I love Dutch.
So is he, and that's all I'll say.
Goggins?
Yeah. There's quite a lot of the cast crossover, actually. It could easily be like a shared universe, in my opinion. The styles are very similar. No, you will love him in it. You will love him in it. He's not in it a lot. He's in it later on.
Does anyone else, does Lem come back? Is he in Sons of Anarchy?
The actor? Yeah. But the character... No, it could be. I think the styles of the shows are very similar.
Oh, yeah, because it's Kurt... Is it not Kurt Sutter that does Sons of Anarchy, and he's an exec producer on The Sheild? So.
Yeah, I always thought there was more of a link than that. I always thought it was the same writer or something, but yeah, no. Sons of Anarchy is great.
It's next on my list because somebody else recommended Justified.
Yeah, that's good as well.
Because I think like there's quite a big crossover between those three series in terms of cast.
When Goggins is never
I know. I didn't realise he was in The Hateful Eight as well, which I haven't seen yet, but I was looking up his IMDb just to know what to avoid, to be quite frank, and it said he was in that as well.
Yes, sort of an arc that you fly through as well. It's a bingeable show.
As long as Dutch is in it, because I really feel like I found my soulmate. He's 6'2", though it might be a bit of an issue.
This will be an interesting podcast that sees this gets cancelled by both sides because they'll cancel us for unusual insensitive jokes and they'll also cancel us for the apparent wokeness of being upset about the Anthony Hopkins old white guy winning.
Yeah.
I know, I do feel bad because I haven't seen it and everyone is like, oh my God, you'll cry at it for a week. And you know what? I probably will, but I'm just like, I am one of those I just don't rate Anthony Hopkins. I do feel like he is a scenery tour and I haven't really seen anything that apart from maybe Silence of the Lambs, that makes me go, wow, he is, the best actor of a generation. Like, I just don't get the appeal.
He definitely chooses scenery in that though.
But like he kind of gets away with it in that. But
the thing is, it's like I've seen nominations of that in the past. Like, it's all subjective, but I've looked at categories and thought they've just given that because you want to tick a box, and most.
That's what Rami Malek was last year. Let's be honest.
Yeah. That was
fucking shocking. You want to talk about teeth? Jesus Christ.
Yeah. When Catherine Bigelow, who I love as a director, won for Zero Dark 30, I was really.
Was that what she won for? I always thought it was something else she won it for.
And it's like, did she won because of the film, or you just try to prove a point this year? And that's just a horrible thing to say. Something that's what it feels like. But the other actors nominated in these categories and things like that, you think you've got a chance to actually make a statement here, and it would be rightfully deserved or so because you've got competition in these these nominations, and they just fucking make an ass of it. Or maybe I'm wrong, and Anthony Hopkins puts in the best performance ever.
I know, part of me is like, I'm obviously going to have to see it now to make a point of comparison, and I will watch. I didn't realise that Sound of Metal was coming to Amazon, I certainly didn't realise Nomadland was coming to Star, so I will make a point of getting to these movies, so I do have that context, but I definitely thought that to her, like, all jokes aside about how much he's nice to look at, I definitely thought that because of the physicality of that performance, it was very emotive, and as I say, the film was like here, but he was like up here, and I thought, oh, he's definitely going to win this. Like, he was Golden Globe nominated as well. I thought they're going to BAFTA love that type of movie. They're definitely going to give that to him, and they just didn't. And I was like, oh.
And he's not up for anything at the Oscars. But is that because of the film came out this year?
No, because they extended the period.
Yeah, that's right.
They extended up until the start of March for the eligibility. Yeah, because there wasn't going to be enough. Well, they didn't think there was going to be enough films. They were going to have to end up like having Sonic in like half a dozen categories.
Hey, that made me fucking love that.
No, I'm actually
makes me face light up.
I know.
No, that's what says.
The fact that you actually went, hey man, like that, and just sort of rose off your seat slightly.
Okay, could have been some best special effects. No, it says here on the website, ordering movies released in 2020.
No, that definitely can't be right though, because did Nomadland come out last year? Did Sound of Metal? That can't be right.
Sound of Metal. No,
they did extend it because it's usually for the calendar year. It's usually the end of December. That's why they have like limited runs in December for these films in the States. I'm sure they expanded it because there was more films up for awards. This year there was something like 450 eligible films, where there's usually about 350, 360 eligible movies.
What's in the category for a film not in English language at the Oscars?
See, the best feature, best animated film for BAFTAs, there was only 3 movies up. Shaun the Sheep movie is up for an Oscar. It wasn't up for a BAFTA.
It's a brilliant movie as well. It's really good. I loved that film.
Is it Shaun the Sheep not a British film?
yes.
Bastards.
See, it's a comedy where his soul was more, it's deeper.
I think it's funny as well that Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross were up for 2 BAFTAs. They were up for 2 nominations in the same category.
Yeah.
Usually that works against them, doesn't it?
Aida.
What are you looking at? Be the best film in a...
The best foreign language film, just see if I recognise any of them. But I wish I'd watched that. Is it Quo Vadis? Is that how you say it? Quo Vadis Aida?
Quo Vadis. You don't with Latin. You don't have any inflections in the language. You just say it as it's written. Apparently,
I knew you would know Latin. John brings out his leather-bound gold leaf volume of Latin to go through his verbs.
I did Latin for 1 year in secondary school, and it was the only thing I remember from it.
My dad can only remember is it a mo, a mass, a mat, or something like that. That's the only Latin he has gleaned from, and he went to like a proper, like he went to St. Aloysius, so Latin was like a thing. You can't remember a word of it. But I wish I'd watched that at the film festival, and I haven't, and I'm kicking myself now because it's everywhere in the best foreign language category.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's coming out here anytime soon. But
maybe Glasgow.
It will eventually. They're starting to do a Best of the Fest strand at the moment, so it may be on that. Yeah,
because they've got that County Lines, which was nominated for quite a few BAFTAs as well. They've actually got St. Maud. I'm just looking at their Glasgow. Oh, they've got Killing Escobar, which you got retweeted as well. Remember?
Yep. Yeah, that was a pretty good movie.
Was it La Llorona? I thought was up for best foreign language film, but it was admitted for the Guatemalan entry, and not The Curse of La Llorona, which is a different film.
Once again, I was like, yeah, that seems. They've got Les Miserables for $5.49 on Glasgow Film at Home. So
it's worth a watch. I didn't think it was like brilliant or groundbreaking or anything. Like I said to you, I went to see it in the cinema last year because there was literally fuck all else to see. But I enjoyed it. It was good. Yeah.
Don't think that's going to be a problem this year somehow. As long as the cinemas stay open, it's going to be every week. There's going to be something.
There's going to be something. But you know, I was pissing myself laughing because Paramount have delayed those 3 Tom Cruise films. Chris has been walking up and down like an angry parrot ever since. He's like, "Why just those 3 Tom Cruise films?" And I'm like, "I don't know, mate. I don't need films." So
what's the 3? Top Gun, Mission Impossible.
Top Gun, Mission Impossible.
2 Mission Impossible.
And the 2 Mission Impossibles. They've all been delayed because apparently he's on Graham Norton this week, and Chris was like, "Oh yeah, that'll be so exciting because of the movies and stuff like that." And I was like, "Oh, I've got bad news for you. All 3 of those films are getting punted back to next year." And he was like, "If one of them comes out on the day of our wedding, I'm sorry."
I mean, I don't know if anybody's watched Godzilla vs. Kong. That's a film you had to have seen in the cinema, really.
See, I think it will be released in the cinemas. I might wait because I'd rather watch something like that in the cinema. I think it will get a cinematic release.
I hope they release this. I think they will as well put the Snyder Cut in the cinema at IMAX. That is.
I think all these Warner films will get some sort of limited releases, just because there'll be. It's like you say, there will be a lot of new stuff coming out, but there will be gaps. And they'll be punting these films in there because then they're regarded as new, because not everybody will have seen a film because it's on HBO Max, for instance, you know.